Pounders, welcome back. Let's go. New contest. Rookies and sophomores just dropped, and there's no better time than now to grab that early edge. And we'll sort of go over what we mean in this first draft. You're going to want to try to push off QB when you get the 1 and 2 spot. You're going to want to try to get Bijan with either A-Rich and or Stroud. It's something that you're not going to be able to achieve as early as tonight or tomorrow. The ADPs will fluctuate, but let's pull up the rankings really quick for rookies and sophomores. As you can see, it goes Bijan, Puka, Gibbs, Achane, A-Rich, Stroud. A-Rich should probably be pick 1. Bijan, Stroud fighting for pick 2, pick 3. And then Gibbs should probably be pick 4. Yes, running back falls off incredibly quick on this contest. Still, you kind of want to try to push it. If you're not getting Bijan, does Gibbs at 2 feel right? Not really. Honestly, it should be A-Rich. A-Rich should go 1 overall. That's just my opinion. But with how little RBs are on this slate, but can you go 0 RB? Like, it's relatively deep with some of these guys. Like Jalen Wright goes down here. He's not being drafted right now. He will have an ADP, though. Ray Davis goes undrafted. Marshawn Lloyd. And it just dropped. But still, some of these guys right now, you can build on 0 RB squads, which is sort of fun right now. Let's jump into a draft just to sort of see the landscape here. If you're just joining me, drop a like on the live stream. I'm going to be covering the strategies to this contest as we go, and we just 4 out of 4'd it. This contest just dropped about 30 minutes ago. Shout out to Drew. Hit me on the Discord. Appreciate you, dude. It wasn't under the NFL tab, which completely threw me off. Michael Wilson has no ADP. Dude, the wide receivers here, you can go 0 wide receiver. So I have 4 drafts in, and 3 of them are from the 2 spot. And I can show you 2 examples of them going right, and then 1 example of it going mediocre. But this is what I mean by kind of pushing QB. Pick 7, we get A-Rich to pair with Gibbs at 2. So we know RB falls off. In these early rooms where people don't really know how the draft landscape should be, how the ADPs will evolve. Dude, A-Rich, you're not getting it 7 tomorrow. It's not happening. Oh, wait. It happened 2 drafts in a row. This one we went Puka at 2, which I hate. Just mixing it up. Puka at 2 is just not, it's not the move. That's probably the only time I do that. And guess what? We get him with A-Rich, so we're a spoon. It's fine. Caleb, let's see, is this pick 2? No, this is pick 1 with Bijan. We end up getting 3 QBs on the back end, stacking up the receivers, going double RB. Just these teams are going to be very, very, very strong. And this is the pick 2 team that I think went wrong. Yeah, exactly. So 2 that were strong, and then this one, yeah, you're going to burn some money. It depends on how sharp the room is as well. Like, you're going to get into some rooms, and you're not going to get any value. Just not going to happen. So for me, this is very easy. A-Rich and Achane, excuse me, with the running backs falling off. It's very nice to get Achane here. Very, very nice. And the fact we get A-Rich with it. Strong start. Strong start. Puka should probably go pick 5. I would think Puka will end up going pick 5. Because it's going to be, want to what? He might go pick 6. It might be these 3 running backs and then these 2 QBs and then Puka. I honestly see that being, okay, so this guy's pushing up QB, but he's not getting any value. So like early contests, when they just open, you want to try to push it just so you can get some crazy builds. I get it. He doesn't want to be dead in the water, but for me, I would rather burn $10, right, while trying to create a super team. Because right now is when you can create these super teams, when people don't really know the market. And this room doesn't. This room put QB to 4 and 6. You know, end of the first and the second round. So I would try to push QB here. Just my thoughts reading the room. This is probably going to be a double tap at receiver for us. I'm between Malik and Odunze or Malik and Zay. We'll go Zay on this one. But I think if I have another combination of this start, I would go Malik and Rome. I like the slow burn. I know. How fast is this in a 4-person room? I love it. But honestly, I'm probably going to only do about 20 of these, 20 to 30. And it's going to be all today and all tomorrow before the ADPs become too mature. And while we can still take advantage of these ADPs. So I'm still not interested in going another QB just yet. I'm going to try to pull in a second QB by like Levis, who I think Levis should be going ahead of May. But we'll see. We'll see who we get on the back end. Okay, so this guy's got his 2. He's got a nice build going on. You can go solo RB. And just to cover the spots in this real quick, you need to start 1 QB, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex, which would be a wide receiver. Tight end counts under there, under piss and yellow. And then it could be a running back as well. And then 7 bench spots. And it's very deep. It is very deep at wide receiver. And it's relatively deep with these handcuff running backs and some of these rookies right now, too. Good. We weren't going JSN there anyways. Let's bring in. We're going to double tap here at receiver. I think so. And then we're going to probably bring in. We're going to hope that Benson falls back to us. That's going to be the goal. Do we go Kincaid? Maybe it is Kincaid. He'll give us some floor too for our rookies. Because we're going to bring in more rookie receivers as well. So I actually don't hate Kincaid here. But like some of these guys down deep, I mean, even if you're like a Mingo guy, I'm not, but to pair him with Bryce Young, you can do that, which is fine. Quentin Johnson, who's a little bit on the rise because the Chargers got rid of everyone. They just got rid of everybody. Roman Wilson, Michael Wilson. If you like these 2 prospects here, Hyatt's going undrafted. I mean, you can dig pretty deep. We know Drew's going to be on Trey Palmer, like an absolute sicko. And then it sort of stops. I mean, Ricky Pearsall, no one's even clicked him yet, which is interesting. So right now, like Jalen McMillan, Malik Washington, you're going to have Jermaine Burton down here as well. With some of these builds that you won't be able to get, like those teams earlier where I have A-Rich at 7, it is nice to try to find that one special piece that you need to go with the team that won't be able to be replicated tomorrow. This is where we start thinking about bringing in another running back. We can end here. Let's go Levis. And let's bring him in with Zach Sharps. It's just so deep. It's so deep at receiver that let me get Zach Sharps with H-Chan. I feel pretty good about stopping here at 2, where we only need to start 1 each week. Can we bring in a third? I don't think it's killer because we're stopping at 2 QBs, so that's fine. So we'll end up with this team will end up with 7 receivers, 3 running backs, and 2 QBs. I think that's pretty strong. Over under it fills this weekend. It's going to fill quick. It always does. It always does. It's not under the NFL tab right now, but when it does, it's going to absolutely fly. So it's 1 out of 4 advance rate. Into the second round, it's going to be 1 out of 7, and then 1 out of 8 for a 50-person final. And that payout is going to be, I believe, $500. $500. Troy Franklin's still there. I didn't think these guys would be here. I didn't think I was going to have to think about it. I mean, I'd prefer AD Mitchell over Troy Franklin, but okay. We got our wish. We're going to double tap, I think, both of these guys. And then we can bring in a random running back at the end, like Jalen Wright or Ray Davis. I think that'll be fun. Let's go AD and McConk. That one's for Adam. The McConkey picks for Adam. Gonna have a ton of rookies, but guess what? That's the name of the contest. Rookies and the sophomores. Let's see how some of these other teams are building. So this guy went double QB over here, which is fine. But this is really good value. Like, these guys are very good value here. See how we didn't have to reach? If this guy read the room that these teams aren't reaching on QB, he probably could have got Caleb at 16 and Jane Daniels at 17. I don't know. I just like to push it early when these contests open. I think that's how you make strong teams. But I understand he doesn't want to waste his $10. Yeah, Coleman off the board finally at 41. I'm going Coleman over Wicks, but that's crazy that he got a Coleman at whatever, pick 40. I'm skipping Luke Musgrave here, like, entirely. Entirely. Do we really want Quentin Johnston? Like, even if he's available, does anyone really want Quentin Johnston? Now, with this type of team, do we go Rome or Michael Wilson here? That'd be a question. I think you can make the case to get a little more floor with Michael Wilson, but I'm going to probably have 100% Roman Wilson in this contest. He's going to be my flag plant. We have our floor guy with Dalton Kincaid. That's what we're going to tell ourselves. That is what we're going to tell ourselves. Yeah, we're Jalen Wright over Johnson, over Tank for sure. Like, this is where, honestly, I kind of want to try a 0 RB build next. If we get, say, pick 4 again or pick 3. Let's go Jalen Wright. Holy smokes. That one's fun. This one's fun. All right, let's jump into another one because these these are still hot. These are still hot. There it is. This contest is hiding right now. Waiting on 2. You can jump on in with us. But the EV, I promise, will not be there. It will not be there. I know. Just hate it. Dude, Palmer's the number 1 there. I think everyone agrees that Palmer's the number 1 there. And then they're gonna bring in another receiver. They have to. Okay, we get pick 3. Beautiful. Brian's in the 1 spot. I actually first time drafting from the 3 spot, like it because we should get one of these 3. I think this is how I would have this ranked. And it would probably be like this. And then it's very close here. But the QB should all be pushed up. All these QB's ADPs are going to be pushed up tomorrow. It just is what it is. So get the value while you can, create some strong teams, and try to advance these teams that we're drafting early right now. Oh, dear God. ER7, please, dear, no. The new Justin Jefferson, it hurts. It hurts. You can't even say that without a smile. But if I'm Brian, if I'm not in this room right now and I'm in Brian's spot, I'll tell you what I would have done after he picks. Uh-oh. Bri bring it down to triple zeros. He goes A-Rich. Yeah. It's A-Rich there. Especially because he knows I'm behind him. We are going to go Stroud here and just hope this guy doesn't double tap RB. If I'm not in the room and I'm in Brian's spot, I'm going Bijan and hoping I get A-Rich or Stroud back. Cool. I'm cool with this. We're going to hope we get Tank back. We'll see if it happens. Dude, it's like no one remembers now. It's like no one remembers the way people are reaching for him in the big board. I remember. All right. See how this board goes. See if Brian does his dirty. But if I'm not in this draft room and I'm in Brian's spot, I'm trying to go Bijan here and try to get one of A-Rich or Stroud back. It's going to happen. It's going to happen a lot today with people that have not played this contest before. He goes Caleb at 9. Give us Tank. Cox. At least he didn't make us wait for it, right? Let's go Neighbors over Laporta. Part of the reason, and you have to sort of get the big board ADPs out of your mind. Part of the reason why Sam Laporta is ranked so high in the big board is because tight end has its own category, has its own position slot. That's, at least in my opinion, why you have Laporta going so high here. Okay, we said we were going to switch it up from Malik and Zay. Let's do that here. And also, maybe we end up getting a random rookie on the back end to Houston as well. Say Flowers off the board. Strong draft from Bry so far. He's going to go 0 RB, it looks like. So he's probably bringing in 3 to 4 running backs at least, I would say. Jordan Addison, clearly over JSN, over Kincaid. Yeah, it's Jordan Addison here, whether you like it or not. And then I think you can make the argument for Chase Brown or one of these QBs. This guy's probably double tapping QB here because he has to. So honestly, we get rid of one of – this is now a 3-person room. This is now a 3-person room, and our team does get stronger. Are you guys Levis over May? I'm curious. After Will Levis gets Ridley too, has Pollard, has Tajay Spears, Drake May expected to go to Washington. So now this room is honestly 1 out of 3 advance. It's not happening for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, TM. You're done. That $10 is done. The Tajay pick was probably the egregious pick here, especially when you have Bijan. Yeah, he had to go McCarthy here. So we do get Chase Brown back to us, where we put off receiver, and Bry's super strong. Let's bring in AD Mitchell here. AD or Brock Bowers? Again, I think it's closer than what the ADPs are on the big board, just because of the position advantage you get from drafting one of those tight ends that has a high floor, high ceiling, which is what Bowers is. But when you get rid of the position, I think it's very close. And I think AD Mitchell has the higher ceiling. But Bowers will have the higher floor. Probably one of these two here now. Yeah. This is what's happening. Give us Chase Brown. Let us live. Let us live our life. All right, we're stopping here at 2 RBs, I think. And then we can just stack up. Ooh, Brian's not going to like that. Benson off the board too. Now he basically probably has to take the bet that Jonathan Brooks is healthy to start the year. Yeah, Levis over Drake May. Yeah, this is correct. All right, Keon Coleman. Let's go Coleman here. We're going to stop at 2 RBs, I think. We could get a third. There's really no penalty to bringing in a third if we're hitting on our receivers too. Here I am tempted to go with more of a floor pick. Like one of these two. And what's Quentin Johnston's floor right now? Like, is he even a good floor play right now? I know they trade their whole offense, but they have to draft someone. There's no way they're just rolling out Quentin Johnston and Joshua Palmer. Like, they're gonna bring in competition. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. All right, we can go 1 receiver, 1 running back here. We can go 1 receiver, 1 running back. McLaughlin. Yeah, I like the Braylon Allen pick here for Bry. Or like Jalen Wright, something like that. Quentin Johnston off the board. I said I want 100% Roman Wilson. We are not going to turn back now. Although, should we mix in? Should we mix in a little Ricky? A little pretty Ricky here. Just based off landing spot, I think we have to mix in some of these different guys. Ricky Pearsall, Jermaine Burton, Malik Washington. I think we should be mixing in a few of these guys. Now maybe we go Roman Wilson is meant to be. We can stop with these 2 RBs if we need. It's Kendre. For me, it's one of these. It's got to be an RB. It's got. I want to click Roman Wilson so bad. It's got to be an RB though. Let's go Kendre Miller here. We're good here. We're good. Michael Wilson's sort of our floor guy. Both of these guys should find early roles, so I'm not worried about early production. Have to start 2 receivers, 1 flex. And we have the 3 RBs. It's not under the NFL tab. You have to go home and you have to scroll, which is. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Waiting on 1 person. Bry's probably gonna be in this one too. Absolute sicko. Bry, what percent of Best Ball Mania 4 drafts are you in with me? It was ridiculous. All right, we get the 4 with Herzig. Fun. We'll see how this board goes. We will see how this board goes. It's very. I don't think if you get the 4 spot and you have Stroud come to you, I think it's a bad move passing on him. But where these QBs, ADPs should all come up, like these guys on the back end will rise. Maybe it's not the worst thing to try to push Stroud today. But in a sharper room with Herzig and Bry, it's not going to make sense. So, yeah, it was like it was meant to be. And somehow I pulled myself away from the pick. But it is good to. I shouldn't be going 100% on Roman Wilson just because of landing spot. Like we knew these guys' landing spots. I think you can take bigger stands, and that would be actually smarter with the more information where we don't have that information. Even if we want them 100% of the time, 20% of that 100 we should take out, and we should mix in Malik Washington, Jermaine Burton, and Ricky Pearsall on the back end. It's just that's the smarter thing to do. Herzig goes Bijan. Brago's A-Rich. If this is Stroud, which it is, and it should be. What if we go double RB here? It's going to allow us to stop at RB. Sure, we give up a good amount. What's our next pick? 12 and 13, and we need QBs, and we need yeah. It's going to be tough. Because if you go double RB, you need receivers. You need to double tap QB, which you can't do either at 12 and 13. Like if we double tap QB here with 2 running backs, now our group of receivers is going to be so gross compared to the field. So I could already tell you, like, this draft in this room with sharper drafters, we're not going to end up with a crazy team unless we get 3 of the QBs we want. Tank Dell goes off at 6. This is basically how the board should look. You could put A-Rich at 1. But it's Bijan or A-Rich. H-Hand off the board, which H-Hand could honestly go here, but he does it for the stack, which makes sense. Caleb off at 9. And this is what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, all the QBs are going to rise up. So it sucks, but we have to do this. Otherwise, we're not going to end up with the team. Boring draft, too sharp of a room. And this is where I say, don't jump into the drafts with me on the live stream because no one's going to get good value. We want to play against them noobs. Them noobs. It sucks. We have to go JJ McCarthy as well with this build. Or we're hoping for Bo Nix or one of those two to find a job, which is just kind of thin. He had to push up QB. And this is where in sharper rooms you're not going to get the value. You're going to, like, this is going to be a more realistic draft in the next coming days. This is what the room's going to look like. And maybe people will be pushing McCarthy down here. But this helps us. It does. So we're rocking Bryce Young and Will Levis, which is fine. We're getting some of these receivers to fall back to us on the back end. This guy still needs a running back. Like, we're in fine shape. He has to go Tajay here, I believe. It's he goes Reed. We're going Rome here. And Addison. All right. Pretty fun. Sharper rooms. The teams will end up a little more balanced. I would say I like Brian's team the best so far with A-Rich, A-Chan, Jane Daniels. The Sam Laporta pick, I guess, over Jaden Reed. I just think the tight ends are priced up too much. Herzig gets Chase Brown. Herzig's teams now is looking a little better, but JJ McCarthy and Caleb's a little sketchy at QB. Troy Franklin off the board. This is what I'm looking at right now. AD and Trey Benson. We're just going to go 3 RBs with this build, and then the rest are going to be receivers. It's going to be another 2-3-7 build. If you're just joining us, though, go down, slap the like on the live stream. Leave me a comment below if you're watching this afterwards. I'm going to do a few more of these drafts. Few more of these. This one is a good example of what a sharper room looks like, and you have to adjust. If we didn't adjust here and double tap these two, we are getting destroyed. Like our $10 is gone, which is fine, but you have to know when you're in a sharper room, you have to be able to adjust. All right. This is probably just going to be receiver, receiver, receiver. Lad and all right, we'll bring in Kean Coleman. Ooh, wifey's calling. One sec. Bo Nix off the board. I do like Bo Nix's chance of finding a starting job over MPJ, but this team probably needs 4 running backs, I would think. He can afford to go 4 RBs with this group of receivers, but the third QB, how much does this help? I'd probably rather this be another running back for this team. Like you already have Stroud at 3. Wow. Herzig going 4 running backs on a start 1 with Bijan, 1 overall. And he's behind at receiver. I don't know what's going on. See what Bry does. Do we get our first Ray Davis share? Brian drafts the bowling ball. All right, we're going Roman Wilson here. And we're bringing in Jalen Wright. Jalen wrong. Let's go. All right. Bryce Young, Will Levis, Gibbs, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, Puka, Romo Dunze, Jordan Addison, Adonai Mitchell, Lad McConkey, Keon Coleman, and Roman Wilson. Any complaints? Any other brain busters? We'll see Herzig's last pick. It's got to be a receiver. Can draft the board right after our pick. Let's bring this up so we can see what the last pick is. Michael Wilson. I like that pick for him and his squad. I think that makes a lot of sense. Brings a little bit of floor into that team. Plus, if by some chance the Cardinals don't go Marvin Harrison Jr., the 1 spot's gross. And we got Andy in this room. And we have Andy in this room, another sharp room. This one's going to be annoying. You're looking for those rooms that have people that don't know what they're doing. That's how you're going to get the edge. Bry, I don't know why you're jumping in these with us. It's not in either of our best interests. We're not going to end up with strong teams. This will be it's probably going to be A-Rich. This is going to be our 0 RB build. I know I'm not getting Stroud or A-Rich back to me at 8 because of Andy and Bry at 2 and 4. So I'm going to go off what my personal rankings would be. And this one's going to be A-Rich first. And we'll sort of go maybe a 0 RB build in this one. By the way, I'm going to be drafting live tonight with a special guest, a pounder, fellow supporter tonight at 8:15 p.m. doing a big board stream. We're back. We ran into some crazy GI bug last week, and we had a pass in the family, in my wife's family. So last week was a rough one. But we're up now. We are on the way up. Okay. A-Rich with Rashi and Tank seems pretty damn good to me. We'll put off QB here. No reason to bring up Caleb to the spot. Although that pairing is going to be very strong. And he eventually will be going, pick 7? He's going to be in this pick 7 to 10 range by, if not tomorrow, the next day. I do think it's very strong to go Bijan here at 1 and then to bring up what Herzig just did, to bring up Caleb at 9, 8 or 9. You jumped into this one with me. Get out of here. Get out of here. You know. What's Andy doing? He goes Bijan, shoring up wide receivers. And again, I don't think Andy really knows who we are or Bry. And yeah, see, Bry, I'm stopping here too. I'm stopping here with Stroud and Caleb. When you get to the finals and one of these QBs scores the most points that week, you're going to be up against those teams that have either a second or a third round receiver. So I think that's going to be tough. A little fall off after Addison, I would say. Do we bring in Tajay here? Bring in Tajay here. Cool with that. Basically how he wanted to fall to us. So we have a change of pace back. Should have a weekly roll in a 0 RB build. Kind of our flag plant guy right now in this type of build. And then we're going to bring in at least 3 more. It's going to be 4 RBs. It is negative. It's got to be minus EV to go 5 RBs in this type of build where you can only start 2. So I'm going to try to keep it to 4 or under in every single draft. In drafts that we have Bijan, you can stop at 2. Teams that you have Gibbs and HN, I tend to go 3 right now. That's sort of, yeah, so this is going to be tough to compete with. If this is Jaden Reed, I think you're having more fun. Andy put off. This is good for us. I mean, he's basically out at this point. So we're going to pair A-Rich with Downs, and then we're going to bring in Levi's. Nice pair of jeans. I just want to watch the room panic. Yeah, and you got Andy who's like cool as a cucumber. Like, I'm cool. I don't need a QB. This is basically Briar I advance. This helped us. I'm not mad about it. This helped us. Okay, this team's back live. Dude, Andy's just out. Why doesn't he go Bryce Young there? If he goes Bryce Young, this team's basically out because he just has Drake May. Like, yeah, was he going to go like JJ McCarthy? But this team only has 1 QB. He has to know he's going QB here. This is sick. Jonathan Brooks and Trey Benson with Gibbs. And then it's so deep at receiver that Bry can find his way. God damn. AD Mitchell, kind of hoping he fell back to us. JJ McCarthy off the board finally. Yo, Andy got boxed bad. Andy got put in a box, put in a blender. Put in a blender. Let's go Troy Frank and Charbonnet. We got Franklin like 9 picks after. We're cool with that spot. We're cool with that spot. 2 more RBs and then 1 receiver. News break. Welcome to the live stream. Mike Williams to sign with the Jets. Damn. It's a good spot for him. It's a good spot for him. Al, welcome to the live stream, man. Taking a boomer nap. Let's go. You're ready to draft. These are rookie and sophomores, the 4-person draft. 1 out of 4 advance, 10K up top, 50 final room for $500. It is 1 out of 4, 1 out of 7, 1 out of 8, 50-person final. Starting 1 QB, 1 running back, 2 receivers, 1 flex, and 7 bench spots. Here we go. Finally, people are clicking the guys that I click on the back end so we can mix it up now. I like Braylon Allen here, and we can go. I said I'm going to mix it up. I want to make sure, like, these guys are always going to be here, Ricky and Malik Washington and Jermaine Burton. I want to make sure I get my heavy dose of Roman Wilson, who should be ahead of all of these guys. And we'll bring him in with Braylon Allen. The bowling ball. The bowling ball. Tajay Spears, Zach Charbonnet, Braylon Allen. We're going to need another running back, and then this team is done. And honestly, this could have been a 2-person room. It could have basically been me versus Brian if Andy goes QB here instead of Chase Brown. If he goes Bryce Young, the last guaranteed starter on the board for his first QB. This is basically me versus Brian, and our team is – sorry, Brian. Our team's stronger. Of course, if A-Rich gets hurt, it's over. But guess what? We play to win, and he is the epitome of that. Last RB off the board. Dude, it's got to be Jalen Wright. It's got to be. Over Tank Bigsby. Jalen Wright, Ray Davis. Right now, while we can still get him with the last pick, I don't know why we wouldn't do this right now. Because we should. All right, we got another room popping right up. We get the 3 spot. Let's go. No pounders in this one. No pounders in this one. Let's see if we get something interesting now. Again, I was pushing them on Contest Open. I think we should still be pushing them. Got A-Rich at 7 with Gibbs. On this one, we got A-Rich at 7 again with Puka. This one, we reached up for Caleb with Bijan. Sort of what we saw, exactly what we saw Herzig do when he was in our room. We also get Levis and Bryce Young with Tajay Spears, Rice, Flowers, AD, Ladd, Quentin Johnson, Roman Wilson, Michael Wilson. Just, you can build strong teams right now. And this is the one that I think we ended up getting swallowed by the room, which is going to happen. You're going to make some risks and stuff won't work out. But if you can create strong teams like those other ones in the process, it's worth taking some risk. Give us A-Rich at 3. That's honestly the only way I'm going to be super happy. Okay. Okay. Play ball. Play ball. Can we get one of these 2 back? Don't double tap RB. Thank you. Thank you. Sincerely. Sincerely. From the bottom of my heart. Damn, Trenny posting in the Discord. AD Mitchell will be a bust coming back to this. He will be Quentin Johnson 2.0. Damn, boy. Easy in the Discord, man. Easy in the Discord. You're going to start a fight. All right. On the way back, we're hoping Tank falls. Of course, he doesn't. Sam Laporta should be going after Malik Neighbors. I'm tempted to rank it like this. I really am. Reason being, dude, Flowers is going to be competing with Mark Andrews now this year. They get rid of Odell. They're going to bring in another receiver. They have to. And it's a run first team. Okay, so Dunze does go before Zay, but matter, he double clicks both of them. I think we can go Caleb here. Two things this is going to do. This is going to put pressure on the room. Obviously, we're done at QB with these two. We have a high floor, high ceiling. Okay, so far, the room is feeling no pressure by the Caleb pick. Let's see if this guy double taps QB here. We want Drake May to go off the board. When we go Caleb here, we want Drake May to go off the board. If he doesn't, he's got to go May. Wow, he goes Kincaid. Interesting. Do I like JSN in this spot? Like, not really. Let's just take the chance that Brian Thomas Jr. ends up on like Buffalo. I do think a pick like Bowers could make sense now, where we could use a little bit of floor, but also Josh Downs with A-Rich. Cool. Bowers is off the board. We don't have to think about it. He goes Josh Downs ahead of JSN. Okay. I think that's aggressive. Even I'm a JSN fader. I think that is aggressive. Wow. Whoa. This man's taking stands. This man is taking stands. I like this team though. This is an odd one. Okay, Drake May and Will Levis off the board. We are just gonna keep clicking receiver right now. I'm gonna pick up two running backs on the back end, probably pick 43, 46. This is a Ray Davis type team. These picks are in play right now. These picks are definitely in play. Damn, I was kind of hoping that guy had 3 QBs. Every team ends up relatively balanced. This team is basically out with 1 QB, Levis and JJ McCarthy. Basically out, I would say. Troy Franklin over Roman Wilson would be a stand and a half. We should be mixing in a little bit of Troy Franklin. After ADP, now I'm going to bump these two over Roman Wilson and Ladd with this team that does need some sort of floor to start the season. Could bring in Jalen Hyatt in a build like this. Two more receivers and 2 running backs. Dude. Interesting. We are going to go Michael Wilson here. Tempted to just go Ladd, to be honest. These teams both have 3 running backs. I shouldn't really have to worry. This guy will probably go one more. This guy definitely should not. In fact, I'm stopping at 2 with Bijan. Let's bring in Ladd as our last receiver. And now we're double tapping running back. No, they're going to put him back in the slot this year. I think people might actually be surprised. We'll see, though. We'll see. Achane, Braylon Allen, and one of these three. One-year deal with the Jets worth up to $15 million. AKA it's probably worth like what, 8 to 9? Kendra Ray Davis or Jalen Wright. Dude, my Kendra bags make me just want to lean in. They make me want to lean in on it. Burks back to the slot too. I know, there's just so many mouths. There's so many mouths. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Sort of a random stream. Didn't know that rookies and sophomores was going to come out today, but I do think it is a fun contest. The biggest edge is today. It's on contest open. Try to push the QBs just a little bit, but keep in mind A-Rich should be going 1 or 2. Stroud shouldn't be passing past 3 ADP, but yeah, all those QBs on the back end, like Caleb at pick 16, he's going to come down to pick 9 by tomorrow or the next day. So enjoy those early ADPs. Go back and watch the beginning. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Drop a like on the way out. Thank you. Pounders.